You know that feeling, right? There's that one big thing you need to do. The project, the workout, that difficult conversation. You know it's important, but you just don't do it. Here's a secret. It's not because you're lazy. It's a specific process happening inside your brain. A process we can actually rewire with a few simple tools. Let's look at what's going on up there. When you even think about starting something important, a part of your brain called the amygdala, your internal threat detector, sounds an alarm. It treats that big task like a genuine danger, which is why you suddenly feel heavy, tired, and unmotivated. This is called behavioral inertia. It's your brain's natural tendency to stay put rather than get moving. See, your brain didn't evolve to chase your abstract goals like getting a promotion or learning a new skill. It evolved to save energy for survival. That is why it pushes you toward the easy path. Watching another episode instead of hitting the gym, or scrolling through your phone instead of doing that deep, focused work. This old survival setting was great for our ancestors, but today, it often just holds us back. So, how do we break free? The trick is to use motivation in a smarter way. And here's the key idea, the one thing I want you to remember. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Once you start moving, your brain gets on board. Let's start with the simplest tool of all, the 2-minute rule. Commit to doing just 2 minutes of whatever task you're avoiding. Why does this work so well? Because a small, time-limited start doesn't seem threatening to your brain. That alarm in your amygdala goes quiet when the task feels manageable and clear. If the thought of a 30-minute workout feels overwhelming, just say this out loud. I will put on my workout clothes and stand in the living room for 2 minutes. I know it sounds silly, but it lowers the barrier to entry so much that you'll often find yourself doing the full session. Once you begin, something called psychological momentum takes over. It's the natural carryover of your attention and effort. The real cost isn't continuing the task, it's starting it. So if you need to work on a report, don't think about the whole thing. Just say, I will open the document and write 1 sentence for 2 minutes. That's it. You'll be surprised at how often those 2 minutes turn into 10, then 30. Next, let's get specific with something called implementation intentions. These are precise if-then plans that take all the guesswork out of your actions. An implementation intention links a specific situation to a specific action, creating an automatic trigger. For example, instead of vaguely saying, I'll run more, you create a rule. If it is 7 a.m. on Monday, then I will put on my running shoes and run for 10 minutes. If I find myself mindlessly opening my phone in the morning, then I will close it and open my work document. This works because it taps into your basal ganglia, the part of your brain that runs your habit system. When you predefine the cue and the action, you eliminate that moment of decision where you have to use willpower. The situation happens, and the action fires automatically, like a script. You're not deciding anymore, you're just executing a pre-planned command. Now let's talk about how to build desire on demand. We can do this with something called anticipatory dopamine. Dopamine is that feel-good chemical messenger in your brain that drives motivation. But here's the cool part. Dopamine doesn't just spike when you get a reward. It actually rises even more when you're expecting a reward. You can harness this by creating a short, 60 to 90-second ritual before you start your task. This ritual signals to your brain that something rewarding is about to happen. It could be anything. Playing a specific song, making a cup of coffee in a particular way, or setting up your workspace in the exact same order every single time. The key is consistency. After you do this a few times, just starting the ritual will trigger a small rise in dopamine, making it feel easier and more appealing to begin the actual work. You can boost this effect with a quick visualization. Visualization is just mental rehearsal. Before you start, close your eyes for 30 seconds. See yourself finishing the task. Imagine the feeling of relief and accomplishment as you send that completed report or finish that last set at the gym. Brain imaging studies show that imagining an action activates many of the same neural networks as actually doing it. This little nudge makes your reward system treat the outcome as more likely, giving you a small motivational lift right when you need it most. Another incredibly powerful technique is habit stacking. This is where you add a new behavior right after an existing automatic routine. You're piggybacking the new habit onto something you already do without thinking. For example, while my morning coffee is brewing, I will read for 15 pages. Or, after I turn off my alarm and put my feet on the floor, I will stretch for 2 minutes. Your brain sees the new action as a simple extension of the old one, so it requires much less effort to start. The secret is to be specific. After I wake up is too vague. After I turn off the alarm, stand up and walk to the bathroom is a precise, unmissable trigger. That precision is what makes the stack so strong. Now, there's a deeper principle that ties all of these tools together. Keystone habits. These are small, consistent behaviors that create positive chain reactions across other areas of your life. Think of making your bed every morning, going for a short daily walk, or having a consistent sleep schedule. Why do these tiny actions have such a massive ripple effect? One reason is self-efficacy, your belief in your own ability to get things done. Every time you complete a small keystone habit, you send a message to your brain. I am someone who can make change happen. This belief starts to generalize to bigger, harder tasks. It builds a sense of control over your life. There are biological benefits too. A simple habit, like daily exercise, raises levels of BDNF, a protein that helps your brain cells grow and connect. More BDNF supports neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to change and form new habits. This improves your focus, your memory, and even your sleep quality. Research shows that if you can stick to one simple behavior in one of 3 key areas, it tends to pull other positive behaviors along with it. Those 3 areas are physical movement, like a daily walk, environmental organization, like clearing your desk each day, and time structure, like a consistent sleep and wake time. You don't need to change everything at once. Just pick one small action that gives you leverage. You might be thinking, this all sounds too simple to work. And that's a reasonable thought, but here's the truth. Most people fail not because the methods don't work, but because they spend all their time analyzing instead of acting. This is analysis paralysis. It feels productive, but it's really just a sophisticated form of procrastination. You don't need to master every single technique I've shared. You just need one to begin. So, choose one right now. If you have a task waiting for you, write down a single if-then plan. Or commit to a 2-minute start. Or pick a 60-second pre-work ritual. Stack a new habit onto your morning coffee. Start today, even if it's tiny. By taking that first small step, you're giving your brain tangible proof that change is possible, and that proof is what starts a brand new cycle of motivation. So, do the first 2 minutes, and then let momentum carry you forward. Keep it simple, keep it consistent, and you will break free from inertia for good. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe for more tips on how to work with your brain, not against it.